Guys, it's me. I'm back with the myofilament, the cross bridge, and contraction part due. Okay, so I started this slide last time, but just a quick reminder. Okay, myosin is the thick filament. Okay, filaments make up the fibrils. Fil- um, Filaments make up the fibrils. Fibrils make up the muscle fibers. Fibers make up fascicles. Fascicles make up muscles. Okay, this now is the smallest level where contraction is going to happen. It's going to start with myosin. Okay, we got these myosin heads. The key thing is this: they have this attraction to actin that we've got to keep straight. Okay, so the four major ones you have to know are going to be myosin, actin, troponin, and tropomyosin. Those last two sound alike, but very different functions. Okay, so actin. Actin is made of globular subunits. So this is what actin looks like. These little balls right here. Okay, those are all actin. Okay, they have a little active site that fits myosin. So myosin, if this were actin and here's myosin, they want to fit together. They belong together. Deal? But actin's got some regulatory friends. Okay, so bound to actin, like this defensive back was bound to the receiver. Shit, I can't remember if they call passing for that. Anyways, so tropomyosin and troponin, they're bound to actin. We call them regulatory proteins. All right. And here's their general function. I'll explain how they work. Okay. Troponin binds to calcium. Deal? So troponin has a little spot that wants to bind to calcium ions. Now it's associated with this thing called tropomyosin. There's a freaking typo in there. Well, sorry, but we're going forward. That's tropomyosin. Man, you really should check your work before you put it on YouTube. Okay, comments turned off. Okay, so anyways, tropomyosin gets in the way. It blocks myosin from binding to actin. Okay, so while myosin wants to bind to actin, actin's got a friend that says, nope, you can't. Okay, and that friend is tropomyosin. So where does troponin come into? Well, let's take a look. Oh, geez, that's a terrible picture. Okay, here's actin, right? Actin's got these subunits. See these little divots? That's where the myosin heads are going to fit into. They're covered by this long filamentous like protein. It's like a long filament, right? And notice that each one of them covers this actin binding site. Of course, this myosin binding site of actin. Okay, so here's your myosin. Here's zoomed in. Here's actin. Each one of these little divots fits a myosin head. In this resting state of the muscle, the myosin head cannot access its binding site on actin molecules. Okay, so just to label these four, this one right here would be tropomyosin. This little yellow one here, that's going to be calcium. So what happens? Okay, well, calcium is going to bind to troponin. When you decide to have a muscle contract, muscle, slap that dude. Okay, well, when I tell these muscles to contract, really what you're initiating is calcium release from that sarcoplasmic reticulum. Okay, the sarcoplasmic reticulum, that modified endoplasmic reticulum, stores calcium and it releases it after neural activation. Okay, so the SR, which is inside of the muscle cell, lets calcium out. Calcium is going to go and find these little yellow molecules called troponin. It's going to change the shape of troponin. When troponin changes shape, tropomyosin will be pulled out of the way. I have this in writing for you, okay? So, like I just said, the sarcoplasmic reticulum, it stores calcium. And here, we should look in pictures because we learn in pictures, okay, guys? This is the sarcoplasmic reticulum. It covers the myofibril completely, right? It just covers it. Well, here it is dissected, removed away, so you can see here's where your myofibrils will be, and here's a sarcomere. Okay, so here's one single sarcomere, right? And then our myofilaments make up this deal. Okay, it regulates calcium levels. Okay, I'm going to skip the T-tubules for now. Sorry. Okay, I want to get to, actually, you know what? I want to get to this part. I want to get to the contraction. Okay, when we actually flex our muscles, when we leave that no flex zone. Okay, we're going to call this thing the sliding filament model of contraction. Okay, during contraction, myosin heads bind to actin, detach, and bind again. Okay, that's the key here. Okay, so we're going to skipping over that stuff. You can read all these, right? And I just described this. right? That at low levels of calcium, here's the 3 points, right? I can read them to you if it helps. Tropomyosin prevents myosin from binding to actin. That's what I mean by blocking the active site. So myocytes can't attach to it. The muscle fiber remains relaxed. Okay, that's calcium right there. Okay, higher calcium levels. Okay, here comes the whoa. Okay, calcium binds to troponin. Troponin changes shape, moves away from tropomyosin. Okay, and then the events of the cross-bridge cycle occur, which I want to do. Okay, but before I do, I want to use an analogy. Okay, so let's think of myosin and actin. Oh, let's see here. We could think of myosin being some boy that wants to dance with some girl. I just watched Mr. Lincoln's announcements. Prom is happening. You can imagine. Some boy wants to dance with some girl, right? But he doesn't quite have the nerve because she's surrounded by 3 of her friends, and they don't think too kindly of him, right? I wish we could give these kids names, but I don't know. I can't think of any of your love interests right off the top of my head, okay? So some little boy wants to dance with this girl, right? But what does she have? Friends, and they're in the way of him asking her to dance, all right? So she's got these 2 friends. Now remember, the boy, let's make the boy myosin. The girl's actin. She wants to dance with him too, okay? But here's the good news. Myosin has a wingman. Myosin's wingman is calcium. When calcium goes and talks to those 2 girls, the friends of actin's friends, right? They're actin's friends, the girls that are surrounding that girl, and he can't go and ask. He can't go to a group of 4 people, will you dance with me? Right? He's got to get those girls away. So calcium, the wingman, comes in. It attaches to troponin. Troponin changes shape and pulls tropomyosin away with her, right? So get those friends away from actin. Now myosin will be able to dance with actin, okay? So that's, I want to go, you know what? We're not going to. We're just going to have that be our YouTube video for now, okay? The key things happening is that calcium binding to troponin, okay? That's the wingman. Okay, troponin is one of actin's friends. Let's go back to this picture. Sorry for jumping around. Okay, I know that can be weird on YouTube. All right, but here's the picture. Okay, myosin is our boy that has to go ask a girl to dance. Let's say, and you know, whatever. Okay, so wants her to dance. She's got 2 friends that are blocking him from asking her to dance. Okay, well, how do we get this one out of the way? Well, calcium is going to bind to her friend. Calcium, come talk here. This will move out of the way. Now myosin can bind to actin. Okay, guys? That's it. There's one more YouTube video to come today. I hope that's helpful. You can always like my videos, but it really does not matter. Okay, no mean comments. Bye, guys.